Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to my patch 18.2 Hearthstone note. Yeah, 18.2 patch notes, thoughts. And we're gonna do this in one go, but we're gonna do the standard cards first. We're gonna look at the cards that have been balanced or like changed in some particular way for standard, and then we'll go up and look at battlegrounds after. So first card we have on the dock here is Secret Passage. Secret Passage originally plays now as a 1 mana replace your hand 1 mana rogue spell. Replace your hand with 5 cards from your deck, and it swaps, and you swap back to your deck after you put your hand in. So it's Rogue plays right. The way that Rogue plays right now is very weird. I think Rogue has play patterns that Blizzard doesn't like. It's not that they don't want Rogue to be aggressive and to play with stealth, because they do. That's the whole point of. That's a lot of what Rogue's identity is using stealth minions on the board. Like, having the stealth ability is very much a Rogue thing, sneaking around. It's a very Rogue type of thing to do, that Rogue identity, as well as being able to cheat out cards using stuff like Preparation and Shadow Step to replay minions. And I think that Secret Passage does play in that, but I think it causes... it's just an issue. For 1 mana, you get a decent sized hand. You get half a full hand to play with. And so the change is, instead of 5 cards, you get 4 cards. I like that they're doing it in small doses, but I think this card is going to need another change eventually, unless this really is just good enough to keep Rogue at bay, where like Stealth Aggro Rogue isn't playing Secret Passage off a top deck and getting all their face damage and killing you. Like, that deck already is good enough, and Secret Passage just puts it over the top with the ability to get Eviscerates and Sinister Strikes on command, essentially, with Secret Passage. I think this is a good start change. I think my main thing was making it cost more mana, so that way it still did the same effect, but you didn't have that much to play with. I think making it a 2 mana card would hurt it more than making it just give you 4 cards. Because then you thought you have to play more mana and it's less stuff, and that way it makes Secret Passage more of a tactical play than just, I'm gonna chuck this out and hope I get the cards I need. Okay, and we actually have a priest nerf as well. So we have Cabal Acolyte, 4 mana, 2/6 taunt minion, spell burst, gain control of a random enemy minion with 2 or less attack. This card is very overstated for what it does. And so I 100% agree with this change. I think this is the proper change. I think this card will still be played by Priest, because it does priest things. It gains control of an enemy minion. And it's a card in the 4 slot already, as is, so it's a card that is in a good slot. That Priest doesn't really have that many 4 drops, that many 4 cost cards, so this will probably still see play, but it will not be as strong, which is nice. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Totem Goliath. So we actually have not only nerfs in this patch, but we have buffs. We have buffs and changes to cards that might make them more playable. So we have Totem Goliath. Old card, 5 mana, 4/5. So the mana isn't changing, but it's being changed to have 5 attack. So it's going to be a 5 mana, 5/5 with 1 overload. It obviously used to overload for 2, and now it overloads for 1. And the same death rattle, summon all 4 basic totems. I like this change. It doesn't make Totem Shaman much better, but it's quality of life, and it's it's a step in the right direction towards having a shaman deck that feels playable. And there are some people that like to play shaman regardless. And I mean, you just and for those who don't know, I am recording this on live stream. I played a Zoo Warlock, a Pain Zoolock deck versus Shaman and got absolutely stomped in less than 7 turns. So, you know, that happens. The deck can draw really well. Anything can do that. But I think that deck helps the archetype of Totem Shaman become better. We have another... this is more of a rebalance. This is more of not really like buffing the card, but it kind of buffs the card inherently. Archwitch Willow. 9 mana 7/7 battle cry. Summon a random demon from your hand and deck. This is only a Warlock legendary. Which is fine. However, I don't think that Big Demons is I don't think Big Demons is the current archetype for Warlock. However, I like this change. It becomes an 8 mana 5/5 that does the same thing. So this card comes down a turn earlier, and I like that they cut the stats. Because if there's one thing that we've learned is that cards that summon other things need to be less statted. So like example, Exotic Mount Seller is a 5/5. It's 7 mana, but it's also a 5/5. And at that, in that card, I think that card's almost too still. Like last meta, I think it was still too strong, but it's okay. But it's just not as played now because Guardian Druids is a better 7-drop than it anyways, which is crazy to think. All right, so we have one Warlock readjustment. I don't really call it a buff, and I don't want to call it a nerf because I do not own this card, so I do not know how it's gonna play out anyways. But this is a hard nerf. This is a hard nerf to a card that absolutely needed this nerf. Dark Glare is a busted card. I'm so glad that they're changing it. It currently is a 3 mana 3/4. After your hero takes damage, refresh 2 mana crystals. That is really good. There's an entire deck in Standard that revolves around it, and it's one of the strongest cards in Wild as well. I'm very happy to see this. It's now a 2 mana card that is a 2 attack, 3 health. After your hero takes damage, refresh 1 mana crystal. So this could be over. I mean, I don't think this card sees any play after this in Standard, and I don't think it sees play in Wild. But I kind of like it that way. And there might be some world where Dark Glare is good enough in some capacity. But I'm kind of thinking this is the end of Pain Zoo. And so also, just a note for people, a lot of these cards that have been nerfed are epics. So you have Epic Secret Passage, Epic Cabal Acolyte, Epic Dark Glare. And so noted on the bottom is that these cards will be eligible for a full dust refund for 2 weeks. So if you have Dark Glare, if you have Secret Passage, if you have Dark and you have Cabal Acolyte and really don't plan to play them, I highly suggest dusting them. You'll get 400 dust per card, which is awesome. So right now I'm getting 1600 free dust because I'm dusting my Dark Glares and I'm dusting my Cabal Acolytes. I'm going to keep Secret Passage and wait as long as I can to see if the card is worth it. Okay. So that is the changes for Hearthstone's Standard format. And now let us move on and look at Battlegrounds. Okay. So Battlegrounds has some awesome changes. Also, just a throw-in, I will talk about this, and I'm just going to kind of say what it is. Forbidden Library limited time event on September 8th. It includes a new Battlegrounds feature and an update for it. September 15th, the all-new Hearthstone Book of Heroes solo experience. So we'll get new solo content for the month. September 23rd, players will be able to play Heroic Brawliseum. You'll be able to put gold on the, I believe it's gold on the line, or you can pay actual money. You can pay, like, you know, how you can pay for packs with money. You can pay for this Brawliseum with money. That's cool. And you get rewards for the Brawliseum. And maybe they'll have them down here. But I want to look at the Battlegrounds update, which I am very pleased to see this when the patch goes live for the cards and for the Battlegrounds minions and for the standard cards. We'll get battleground parties. Battlegrounds parties means that we are allowed to queue up with up to 7 others. So this is 8-player lobby capabilities. And what's going to happen is how it's going to work. If you have up to 4 players, you will be able to queue for a normal ranked match together. So if you want, you can take 3 of your, you can have 3 of your friends with you, and you can queue ranked. And that will make it a lot more fun. You'll have your friends to play against and you know, have friendly banter and trash talk with each other, or just play and have fun with it with your friends. And then once it hits 5 players or more, it is forced to be a private Battlegrounds lobby, which is very likely unranked, which is awesome. Because then you can play against your friends for nothing. Excuse me on that. For the yawn, it's pretty late here. As you can see, it's 12:36 a.m. Eastern time here in the state that I live in. So you got that, and then climb rating with a handful of friends, or invite everyone to determine who is the true Battlegrounds pro of your friends group of the bunch. Now we have new heroes coming out with this, which is awesome. New heroes. We have Lord Barov. Lord Barov is a legendary card in Standard, but now he comes to Battlegrounds. His hero power is 1 mana called Friendly Wager. And Friendly Wager is so what's going to happen on screen is that there's going to be 2 players up on the screen. So you'll have 2 kind of portraits on your screen, and you'll have to pick one of the 2 portraits. And so, like, on each side of the screen, so like one side I'll have one and one side I'll have the other, and you pick one, and whichever one, and if you pick the winner, you get 3 coins. So this is a hero power that seems to be better in the early game, and it kind of hits a cap when you get to 10 gold. Because at that point, you're not losing. You're going to start with 10 gold every round, and I don't think they're going to have you start with 13 gold if you get it right. And if they do, that's really good. I do think that this hero power is going to be feast or famine. If you can kind of tell that this one person's comp is better than the other person's, then yes, you can definitely pick that. There is a caveat to it. You will never be able to pick yourself in a fight, which is good because you know how strong you are. So if you're a weak board, you're not going to win this round. You want to pick yourself, and you'll get 3 gold for it. So that's never going to happen, which is awesome. They don't really specify that here, but that's Lord Barov. And we have the other Barov. We have Jandis Barov, or as I call her, J-Bar. She's also coming to the Battlegrounds as a hero, and her hero power is called Swap, Lock, and Shop It, which is awesome. I like the name. Hero power, swap a friendly non-golden minion with a random one in Bob's Tavern. So I think that this is an interesting hero power. I'm looking at it now, and I'm not sure I like it. I like that they made it random, because if they made it 0 mana and you got to pick, it would be absolutely broken. So it being random is really nice. However, and it kind of makes it feel more um of a thing where like you want to where I think you want to use the hero power. Like people are going to learn how to manipulate to make her hero power very strong. And I like that. I think this hero is complex. I think that Jandis is going to be really cool. And I'm very much looking forward to being able to play her in Battlegrounds. Okay. So great hero power. Okay. So next one, Forest Warden Omu, everyone's favorite enabler of Malagos Druid. So Forest Warden Omu's passive hero power is Everbloom. After you upgrade Bob's Tavern, you gain 2 gold for this turn only. I really like this hero power, but I'm not sure if it's too strong or not. And I think it's probably in the right spot. And I'm not 100% certain about the Battlegrounds meta, because since the last nerf, which completely annihilated Murlocs, I played a couple of games that first week, and I've really been focused on Standard since because of THL, because of being in a series format, where I'm putting all my time into Standard. But I think Omu is gonna be really, really good. I just, in my head, I just thought, I was like, once you hit Tavern Tier 3, you can just go to 4 and then go to 5 and just buy a minion on every single one of those turns, which is pretty nutty. Like, that's pretty nutty. You hero power, you have 1 gold left usually, and then you get 2 gold, so you get to buy a minion. And then the next turn, you get to level again, and you get to buy another minion, and then you're just sitting at, like, at that point, you're at 10 gold on the next turn. And, like, you can play stuff, like, and you can just kind of work your way down so you can play it again when you have 10 mana. I think Omu is going to have is going to probably play more generically, but then ramp really hard, really fast. Which makes sense. Like, that's what this hero power is supposed to do. This hero power is supposed to be something that kind of ramps the hero. It's like kind of a druid thing. So I like it. I think it's going to be really strong, though, and it might be bad. Okay. And also, this little note here. Players with Battleground perks will have early access to these new heroes before they are formally released on September 22nd. So these heroes are not coming out for a while, but people who have the Battlegrounds pass and perks and stuff will have access. I kind of don't like, but I do think that that's something that needs to be in there for the Battlegrounds pass to make it, like, feel worth it for those who don't buy standard cards. And so it comes with the big standard bundle, with the big bundle. So it kind of incentivizes people to try and buy it. But people who don't play, that's another story for another day. But anyways, Micro Mummy, new minions. We have a new minion. We have Micro Mummy, which is a card that's in standard. It is now a tier 1 minion, 1 attack, 2 health, reborn. At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +1 attack. So Micro Mummy, which doesn't see play in standard, I think is going to be very good here. And this is another good 1-drop. This is a good 1-drop from X. Combined with some other stuff, this can be really strong. So I think that this card is going to be played a lot, and I think it's going to be really good. And it has a shelf life in the gold, but if you can get it to golden, where at the end of your turn you give a minion +2 attack, and you can kind of buff it up. There's all these ways to buff mechs up. I think it's a really good card to have. Okay, so you got Micro Mummy new card, and it doesn't show it here, but it does. There's a minion that is going to get removed, and it's actually right here. So there's an updated minion. There's only a little bit in Battlegrounds. There is an updated minion. It's Pack Leader. So currently it is tier 2, and it's a 3/3 minion. Whenever you summon a beast, give it +3 attack. And I guess they just decided that they needed to give pack leader a small nerf. Um, and so when pack leader went to tavern tier 2, and it just stayed the same, I think it still created the same kind of weird, kind of bad play pattern of being able to summon a lot of like being able to play this. I guess with Rat Pack and Infested Wolf being at 3, you can just play Pack Leader and it's still going to be pretty good. And there's other beasts at tier 2 like Sourlisk, and then there's also you can also get Scavenging Hyenas. And so I think they needed to tone it down for a tier 2, which is nice. So good change. I like the change to Pack Leader. And then the only thing is that Mecharoo has been removed from the Battlegrounds minion pool. Okay, so kind of a long look at things, but I appreciate everyone hanging in there with me. I will have a timestamp. I will have timestamps. I'll have a timestamp for Standard and a timestamp for Battlegrounds. So thank you so much for watching the video. And yeah, if you want more Hearthstone content, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and tell me how you think I did. And I'll always be looking to improve the quality of these types of videos. I'm going to be working on getting better background graphics and just making it so it can be me and the cards and just kind of explaining things and making it more professional. That way, and doing it on stream's cool because I can get live feedback from chat, but also doing it recording it and having fun other stuff to do, also very cool. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a fantastic day. And I'll see you all next video. Peace.